the video. Fuck! Damn it, Ariel.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm the leader of the set. Let me do my intro! Hate you! I'm the leader of the Setless Flower Clan Tsubaki, and today I have. Oh. I refuse. I actively refuse. So, today I wanted to make a Sun Family overhaul video. That's basically what.
This was supposed to be a units that you wanted Zenkai'd list, but after going through the list, we realized it's which Sun Family unit should be Zenkai'd list. The key thing is, if it has a Sun Family tag, we Zenkai'd. That's the theme of today's video.
I mean, 2 of the units on here are part of Vegeta family.
That's because you felt the need to put them there.
I couldn't think of any other Sun Family units that needed Zenkai. No, wait, we Zenkai Super Saiyan 4 Goku now.
No. Wait, which one?
Yes.
Fair.
Ah.
Also, Zenkai all 3 Super Saiyan 3 Gokus. And release a Super Saiyan 5 Goku just to Zenkai him a week later.
Anyway, I want to talk about 5 units I want to see Zenkai'd in the game. That was the original plan before it became a Sun Family overhaul video. But we're starting with the list anyway.
Full Zenkai Sun Family.
Look, you gonna shut it, alright? It's not like they're gonna actually do this anyway right now. Vegeta is too OP for them to care about any other units on this list.
I mean, they might Zenkai the LF one.
But anyway, we're starting with number 5, and number 5 is the LF Team Gohan. So,
Gohan.
if you do not.
He's 11, he's not a teenager.
You're probably wondering he's an LF, so why? And my answer is Beerus. Beerus was bad, he desperately needed one. This Gohan was the first LF in the game, and I definitely feel as though he needs one himself.
Keep in mind, when we say that, when Beerus was released, he did not have a legendary finish. Beerus was the first Legends Limited, but he was not the first legendary finish. That was Gohan. Before someone tries to yell at you and say that Beerus was first, no, he was the first Legends Limited, but his LF didn't appear until like a couple months ago.
And, his kit is like really good. He put regen on the shelves for a little bit while Sun Family was taking over the entire meta.
With Ribrianne, the only thing to fight against it.
So, I'm just gonna, for the Gohan, I'm just gonna go over his kit. I don't really have anything that I would change off the bat because it's still a really good kit. I just feel like the Zenkai would kind of be more like a buff.
Oh, fuck.
So it would...
Sorry, I opened my game and scared the hell out of me.
Ah!
Leave all that in.
So...
Oh, and if anyone who knows my channel is wondering, yeah, my LF Gohan's still at level 1.
Oh my god. So...
But I opened the game to look at his kit, because I don't know what his actual kit is.
So his super inflicts the enemy with -1 to their arch draw speed, which in my opinion is still really good, because...
That's stupid good.
So...
Especially in today's meta, where everyone has frickin' card draw speed.
It just sucks because he's red and with Vegeta running around. He would have been
He does nullify element factor if there's a defeated battle member. I feel like if they just removed that requirement that someone had to be beaten in order for him to get it, he could be useful.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It was like his green card gave him really I thought it was a really nice ability depending on the situation of the battle. If you didn't use the main ability yet, and you're below 50 health, which is pretty easy to get in today's meta, you're either 50 or dead. His ability,
you either have 100%, 80%, or negative 80%.
And if you're lucky, 50%, which leads to the green card where it gives him an extra attack boost. if he's below 50, and then it'll give him like a slightly big boost if it's above 50%. With around that range, his main ability, obviously, it's what draws his legendary finish, his ultimate card.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but was Gohan the first massive impact damage for an ultimate?
I believe. His main ability restores his health by 30%, which was still really good back then when he first came out. And he restored his ki by 50.
Health restoration, so actually gives him even more.
And he restores his ki by 50, and he nullifies type disadvantage, so it always made sure he was hitting hard, regardless of whatever blue units wanted to say hi, other than Vegeta Blue.
Vegeta might as well nullify element factor. He just runs through everything.
Also, his unique abilities made sure that he was Regen's nightmare, and Regen was his bitch.
I also would kind of hope that they update the ultimate ability, if not just if Goku's defeated, but if any Sun family member is defeated. I understand why it was Goku at the time, but nowadays, I think he needs more than just a Goku. Now, there aren't that many good Gotens, right?
No, there's only 3 Gotens in the game. There's only...
The left one is usable, but...
So, moving on to number 4. This one's been in the game since day one. I'm pretty sure you already know where this is going. If you heard it was a Sun Family list, we're going with the free-to-play Blue Goku that was in the exchange shop. So, he's been in the game since day one, been collecting dust since day one, and this Goku has never been good since day one. All the more reason...
The first unit that had Faint on his super.
Yeah, there was that. He was the first Faint unit, so, begin the PTSD.
The green card is abysmal, though, just 15% for 30 counts. It's alright.
Yeah.
Back then.
It's like his blue card, obviously you receive 15%. He was a defensive blast unit, a defense
Also,
unit.
Tell me that Super Spirit Bomb is not one of the cleanest supers in the game.
Yeah, probably. I feel like, you know, like, just to add one, like, just his blue card gave him 15% to his blast damage. He was primarily a blast defensive unit, so all his...
That main gave him 40% to his blast damage,
which is still, like, really high even to this day, which is, like, the only thing he's good for, unfortunately.
But they didn't even give him a second unit, though.
That's what I'm saying. So it's just like his green card only gave him 15%. So if he ever got Zenkai'd, I feel like that could jump up to like 20, 25-ish in today's meta.
They could keep it at 15, but like keep it 15, give him some key, and give the damage to everybody.
And also his main ability, in my personal opinion, was his only good thing. And having the enemy receive 40% more blast damage, which was...
I feel like it should be more him do 40% more. Because if the enemy switches out, then your entire main ability is completely worthless.
Yeah, and then it's just like... And he
like,
only...
It's not that hard to keep... If you have all 3 still alive, it's not that hard to keep one out for 25 counts. So...
And then there's also the fact that, again, he only has one unique ability, so I feel like if he gets a Zenkai'd, it could definitely fix that, and he could be another blue Saint. Another reason why I wanted this unit to be Zenkai'd, yes, he is Sun Family, but that's not my main focus. My main focus is because we don't have that many blue pure Saiyans, and what I mean by pure Saiyans, I mean like... people who boost Saiyans and just an individual Saiyan, not just Vegeta with the Saiyan tag, throw him on Saiyans and there you go. Like, we only have the support Goku, which only showed up on one banner, and then the other blue optimal unit is a unit that's very hard to pull because it's Namek Goku. It's a Legends Limited. People barely have them, and he might not be as good as, you know, he should be. I still think he's a really good blue unit for Saiyans because he's the only other option. So I feel like if this Goku ever got a Zenkai, people would have another option, and it's a free-to-play blue option for Saiyans.
Which means that you'd be able to get into Zenkai 7, and you'd be able to actually unlock all of the extra abilities. That's my problem with a lot of, with Zenkai'ing units. You can never actually access the other abilities, because free, you can only get to Zenkai 1. That's actually the reason why it's taking me so long to make the video on my channel. Because my list is different from his, by the way. So if you see both videos, just know they will be different. why, like, the one thing that's keeps stopping me from doing it is just, like, it wouldn't really matter to about 99% of players.
So,
The ones are definitely good.
alright.
Next is the support unit. So goddamn bad at supporting, I didn't even know he was a support unit. He's fucking ready, Vegeta. You know how bad this man's support is? He only supports himself.
You're starting to sound like Rage Vegeta when Bulma got smacked.
Also, what the hell are you gonna run him with Bulma? None of them have a Vegeta family tag.
So, yes, number 3 is Rage Vegeta. He was the first support.
Hold on, I'm not done yet. His green card, it boosts his allies' damage for each ally that gets defeated.
You got it out your system. So, I picked Rage Vegeta as number 3 because he's the first support unit for Vegeta family. But as you just heard from Mr. Rage-A-Lot over here, he doesn't do a good job at supporting his team, and it made me question why he even has increased damage buff when Bulma is defeated, because Bulma doesn't have a Vegeta family tag, so you wouldn't be running them together. So I thought,
I get why. Rage Vegeta's a thing because Bulma got the shit smacked
no,
out.
I know why, but I'm just
But
saying,
you can't run the two of them together.
it's just like the only time you would ever do that is if you were doing friend battles that weren't like with top tier units.
And it's only a key recovery buff, which is bullshit.
So I thought when he gets his Zenkai, I feel like there should be an update in the game where all the Bulmas receive a Vegeta family tag, because there aren't any Bulmas that you could really put from Z and Super into the game, because all of the ones that we have are from Dragon Ball, just Dragon Ball. So I feel like
Any Bulma you could put in won't have a Vegeta family tag. The only one from Z you could theoretically put in is the Namek Saga one, and Vegeta family, according to Legends, didn't exist until the Android Saga, even though Vegeta existed before that point. Why doesn't any Saiyan Saga Vegeta have a Vegeta family tag? That's a topic for a different video, though. Continue.
So, other than that, I was saying I feel like when he gets his Zenkai, I feel like his other unique abilities could be touched up on to make him more of a support unit, because if you look at his Z ability, he boosts purple and red, and if you look at some units on Vegeta family, you have the transforming hybrid Saiyan Trunks, the transforming one from the 13 movie, and then you have Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, which means he could be a really good bench. And even if his Zenkai ability, I feel like it could be like, let's go like purple, since he's purple Vegeta family. So he'd end up boosting the blue Vegeta if you wanted to use him, which I doubt you will. He's still good for locking in green units. And then there's the hybrid Trunks. So I feel like that's another reason why he could kind of deserve a Zenkai, which is why I'm...
Part of this gimmick is like you want to run him with Bulma. He boosts 2 different elements. Neither of those elements Bulma is a part of.
Look,
The only 2 elements that don't have a Bulma attack. There are 3 different elements that Bulma is a part of out of the 5 that exist, and he boosts the only 2 that she's not a part of.
so that's gonna...
What a worthless support unit.
This is why I feel like he should get a Zenkai, which would make him a lot better and a little bit more stomachable by this person.
Give him a really good, boost his Z ability to give him some ridiculous buff, specifically for Bulmas, so that you can run her with him.
So moving on to number 2, oh, I'm about to tell you what number 2 is.
I gotta search for it.
So number 2 is going to be IT Goku. Yes, instant transmission Goku, the cancerous green unit from way back when.
The thing that LF Goku should have been.
You knew he would end up coming up on this list because, you know, somebody was going to end up doing it, either on my video. Yeah, you didn't know that?
Oh, you look at this kid. You pause the recording because I'm about to look at this kid, and if I see some bullshit, oh my god.
So we're gonna be right back after he looks at the kit. Alright, we're back, and he looked at the kit. Jesus.
I'm not happy, but I'm being forced to wait.
Oh my god. Alright, so back to Instant Transition Goku. His blue card, I feel like it doesn't need to be changed. It's already busted.
It's what Namek Goku's blue card should have been.
In his green card, I feel like it kind of could have been like the Extreme Red Gogeta and restores his Vanishing Gauge when he gets the Zenkai'd, just because if it's a Zenkai'd, you have to make it seem busted. So I feel like because his blue card completely gets rid of his Vanishing Gauge, his green card should then restores once only, like Gogeta. It should give him back his Vanishing Gauge. So then, you know, if you want to, you know, do a vanish step, a perfect vanish or whatever, and then swap to another unit, so on and so forth, then that should happen. His main ability, I feel like the only thing that needs to be changed is the amount of blast damage that's inflicted, the percentage, just because I feel like adding on another cover change is already busted enough. The fact that he's like the only unit I can think of who has 2 cover rescues.
The Ultimate Gohan does.
Alright, so and it's funny how all the like big cover change units like LF Goku, yeah. So then I feel like his second ability can stay the same, but the other 2 abilities can be more Saiyan oriented and Sun family oriented, making him a more of a support unit, because it says he's a support unit, but he only supports Gohan.
He does one support thing for Gohan. Everything else is just him, and yet they call him a support unit. I mean, how at least Vegeta said he does certain things for allies, all allies. Also, can we talk about how he's supposedly supporting his son, yet he's actually the one who put his son in danger?
So
that's some backward shit right there.
So for the honorable mention, I decided I wanted to go ahead and go with the yellow Android 18. I had a few honorable mentions, but to keep this video as short as possible, I'm just going to pick one. And I want it to be the yellow Android 18, just because I feel as though she's the only other yellow unit for female warriors other than Rosie. And nobody has Rosie. Everybody has 18, and 18's kit is so outdated to the point where she needs a new kit. So I just feel as though that it could definitely be a lot better than what it is now, seeing as though, like I already said, we need a new female warrior units, and I feel like she'd be a really good addition just because we already have Kefla, and that'll already make it like 3 times broken, because the Zenkai unit will be covering a green unit who has a crap ton of attack but terrible defenses. So now we're going to go ahead and transition into the in-depth honorable mention, and that's going to be the Second Coming Goku. And this man literally made Sun Family hated all across the board, being the true definition of a support character. In my opinion, him and the blue support Goku from the one banner with the LF Piccolo on it, I feel like those 2 are the only like true support units other than Whis who, you know, just light that spark that make me think these are actually support units. And he buffed them greatly while he was alive and when he's defeated, and he even boosted Rising Rush with as long as he's with Gohan and Goten. And as you already know, Rising Rush is one of the most hated things in the game because of how busted it is, and it made it 3 times worse. Back then, it made a guaranteed kill 3 times more guaranteed, regardless of the cover cut change that another unit had. So, truth be told, I just want to see this Goku extremely busted, and I just want to see Sun Family break the meta again. So I feel like that's why he's my honorable mention, like in depth. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to the number 1. So my number 1 pick, fake drum roll please. The number 1 unit I want to see Zenkai'd is the one that everybody wants to see. Day 1 Red Trunks.
Oh yeah, it was on your list. That's not Sun Family.
Yo, shut up. This Trunks has literally been the worst Trunks by far, other than Super Saiyan 2. Yes, we're looking at you. I'm not putting you on this list because you don't deserve it. But the Red Trunks definitely deserves one. And instead of them fixing the problem when they should have, when they addressed the Zenkai, they instead decided to release another Red Trunks and Red Gotenks to cover up the situation, as if people were going to be happy. And as a Trunks fan myself, I feel like this he should have gotten a Zenkai already. His blue card, just his normal super, should have additional effects, like along with key recovery, and his key recovery should be changed from 15% to 30% when he gets his Zenkai, just because I feel like 30%, or 35% if you want to hit that mark, just because I feel like in today's standards 15% to key recovery is very bad, and he already had terrible key recovery as is. His green card should add more effects from 20%, and like I feel like you should change that like from 30 or 40. Let's like scrape it, just because he's a Zenkai unit. You want to see, let's say 30% when he's like around Zenkai 3-ish, and max it out to like 40 when he hits Zenkai 7. His ultimate, definitely his ultimate, it needs to have the one factor that almost every new unit has nowadays, and that's blast armor. I feel like his ultimate should have blast armor and inflicts like, yeah, that's what I was going to end up saying. It should inflict major bleed instead of normal bleed. Even though there aren't that many units that can be affected by it, I feel like it would still be nice to have. And his main, he's claimed to be a defensive unit, but his main ability and I feel like his main ability needs to give him more defensive boosts, because I feel like it makes no sense to call him a defensive unit and he can't take a hit to save his life. Also, with Vegeta running around, I want him to have defensive boosts that will help him against, and I feel like he should also have like an inflicted damage against future units, or like a sustained damage cut when fighting against future units, because they're very prominent nowadays. So I feel like but with that, I feel like the anti-Frieza Force, that's what I also had in the list. I feel like it should have been changed from Frieza Force to Lineage of Evil for more versatility, and it would have been a lot easier to make, because he did kill King Cold. King Cold's not even in the game, but I'm pretty sure he'll most likely be a Lineage of Evil unit, not a Frieza Force unit. And I feel like when he has his cover change, his cover cut, it should reduce the damage from 50% to it reduces damage by 50, and I feel like it should be increased to 60% with the cover change, and 30% to inflicted damage instead of 10%. And I feel like it should remove the +3 on the sub count, because I thought that was stupid. Why raise sub count when you cover change? And then with his other two abilities, I feel like they need to be more focused on his attack and defensive buffs at respective Zenkai levels. So when you hit the powerful panel, he should get like some really good attack buff. Then when you hit like the last panel, then he'll get more defensive buffs. And I feel like overall, if they do it right, he should be a really good Zenkai Red unit, because not only will he be a really good unit for future, because he has a future tag, he'll also be a really good unit for hybrid, which hybrids is still one team that still needs an entire overhaul, and I feel like to start the overhaul, you can Zenkai this Trunks. So, yeah, about the Android 18 in the honorable mentions, there will be a more described reason why I should be Zenkai'd on this one's channel.
Yeah, because Android 18 is my number one. Like, she will be the top of my list,
So, yeah, that's gonna be my list. If you have any problems or you want to discuss about the list, or any units you want to see Zenkai'd, make sure you put them down in the comments below, and I'll be sure to read some of them out. And just as a note, these are my wishes for units that, in 9 times out of 10, they're not going to get Zenkai. But hey, one can dream. I feel like these units could end up saving a lot of other teams. Yes, yes, they are mostly Sun family, but they can be ran on other teams. And that's all. That's just going to be it from me. This is Tsubaki, and yeah, and I'll see you in the next video. No!